I almost caught myself on fire once by doing this. This is a fake cigarette. This is not a real cigarette. This is fake. It's a prop. It's for theater. It's for film. It looks great on film, but you cannot inhale it. I've tried this many ways. I've looked up many tutorials and people do not explain how to do it like this. A lot of people were telling me to use glues and stuff like that, but I didn't want to use any glue because literally if you use glues, you have to burn it. And now you're inhaling glue and I'm just like, okay, can we just burn paper? If you need a prop cigarette or a stage performance, and you don't want to inhale it and you don't want to breathe shit in, this is a really good way, easy and safe way to go as long as you're safe about it. Very, very easy. It doesn't take very long. Before we dive into the video, make sure you give this a like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you guys get notified when I post. So many of you don't get notified when I post and you're like, where's your long form content? Have your notifications on. Disclaimer, when using a fake cigarette, do not inhale this. You're gonna be so freaking stupid if you do. Sometimes you accidentally get it in your mouth. Like I was filming an audition once and it got in my mouth. Oh. Do not smoke this. Do not do it. It is not designed to inhale at all. You can push out and have smoke. It works, it's practical, and it looks super, super real. Be very careful when you are working with fire, when you're working with anything like that. I always have like a dump. It's an old candle, but I'm using it to like dump and keep an eye, especially when you're like in the house. In order to create this realistic looking cigarette, you need a few things. And one of them is simple ability and skill to do graphic design, or I made it super, super easy for you. You could just click the link below and there's a PDF to the prop cigarette. All you have to do is print out that PDF and cut it out. Print out that PDF on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Follow along this tutorial. The tools you are going to need to create this beautiful realistic cigarette is obviously the download that I have in the link below, printer, print it out. You do need incense. You don't need the incense. It's not 100% needed. However, it burns slower. If you don't use, like we can make both. I'll show you how I make both. If you do not use the incense, it can burn faster and it could also like not look as real. For some reason, the incense, it creates, see how that you see that like red inside? That's because of the incense. If you didn't have the incense, you would just kind of get red on the outside like paper burning. So this really makes it look very, very realistic. Again, use with caution. Do not leave it unattended. And please do not light your house on fire. Gosh, how many times do I have to say that? The next thing you need to do is you need to get a really big cup of water. So now take the printout version of the paper and you are going to cut it out. Cut it out. Now, I print this a little bit long, so depending on if you want like a bigger cigarette, smaller cigarette, you can keep it long. Then what I do is I just take a little piece of paper tissue and I just roll it up about this size. And the reason why I do that is it just creates a little bit of a filter, so if anything does get in the back, you are not getting bombarded by smoke. There is a little bit of a filter back there. What I do is I take the incense, and you can use any incense. Again, you don't need to use incense. I'll do one cigarette with incense, one without. You're going to take the incense, cut it, and then place it about here. And then now you're gonna take the end and you're gonna roll it as tight as you can. Roll, 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 roll. And then just when you see, now this is the magic thing that I accidentally stumbled upon. I don't know how I accidentally stumbled upon it without any glue. You take your ready loaded water and you hold the cigarette and you dunk very quickly. Dunk and dunk. Okay, now it's wet and it instantly adheres the paper. Then you scrunch in the edges. You scrunch in the edges. So it ends up looking like this nicely wound edge, and this is what it looks like dried. It's just that you just scrunch it in. And then you just lay it out to dry, and it only takes about an hour and a half. And while we wait for these babies to dry, I'm gonna tell you how I lit myself on fire in New York, on the 8th floor, in a New York City studio in an acting conservatory. I'm in the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts. I'm wearing a velvet dress that looks like I'm back in the era of Romeo and Juliet. And I'm doing a Romeo and Juliet monologue, and I'm like, what's in a name? And I have my Romeo right in front of me and he's dead. And I decided to make Juliet smoke. It was not this cigarette. It was like one of those fake ones that all they do is puff. They don't smoke like this. My teacher loved my monologue so much because I decided to make her edgy. And in New York, there are windows, huge windows that overlook the city. Right by the windows, there's these heaters. They're like metal heaters. I'm sitting on the heater on the windowsill. There's 17 other kids that are in my class watching me do this. I'm sitting there and I'm smoking the cigarette and I'm doing the best performance of my entire life. And all of a sudden, I decide to go like this. An ember jumps up and lands in my dress. Because I decided to light the thing on fire. And I finished my monologue and I stopped it, and then I had this huge hole in my dress. It ate my dress. I can never wear the dress again. And that is why you should not be playing with fire. Anyway, the cigarettes have dried by now, so let's go look at them. You have this perfectly functional cigarette that you can light and have fun with. Hi, Blue. That's my bird. This one is the one that does not have incense in it, just so you know. It actually is working pretty well, but what I did put into it instead was mint leaves that were dried. Again, I'm not smoking it. Blue! But it, like I said, it burns so fast. I mean, it's already done. It's done. That was like 5 minutes. And that's it. That is it. And now you just need a lighter. Or don't use a lighter and use something else. I don't know, like use a lighter. Please be safe, guys. They're embers. These ones do. It creates a lot of ember. Have something with you all the time, some water near with you if you're gonna use it. Just be safe. And that's the easiest way to make a prop cigarette. Again, link below if you like this tutorial and you want how to find out other tips and tricks on what looks good on film, and just let me know. What do you guys want to see? I do filmmaking all the time. I do short films all the time. I also want to bring to you other stuff that you might feel helpful. So just let me know. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, so you guys get notified when I post these long form content. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Or should I say, adios, muchacho. Okay, I'm done. I'm light.